Hey guys, welcome back to the second video in my Discord PY bot tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to be going over events, so hopefully you have seen the first video. If you have, I mentioned this function here, and I did say that it wouldn't make much sense now, but I would go over it later. That later is now. We are going to be discussing these event type functions and creating two of our own. So first of all, what is an event? So an event is essentially a function that, they're functions that have this decorator, client.event, and Discord controls when they're called based on what's happening within the Discord client. So in this case, it doesn't really react to anything that happens in the client, but if you refer to the Discord PY documentation, which is right here, I'll put the URL in the description. If you look in the API reference, you can see an event reference, and there's many different functions here that Discord can call based on what's happening in the server. For example, OnMessage, that's when a user sends a message in the server, message delete, message edit, reaction add, reaction remove, etc, etc, etc. And there's tons and tons of them, so you can really personalize your bot to do whatever you want. So for this specific tutorial, or at least this video, we're going to be going over two small functions, event functions. We're going to be using OnMessage and OnMessage delete. So the first one we are going to create is the OnMessage function. So to create a new event, you just do client, dot event, and then again async def on message. Simple as that. Now if you look back on the API page, you'll notice that the OnMessage function passes in a message. Now Discord does that on its own, so we have to pass in a parameter into our function, and that parameter will act as the actual message that is being sent in the server. So it's pretty straightforward. Now what we're going to do with this function is we're simply going to have it log the message in the run window. It's pretty simple. So the message is a class, and a class has different attributes that we can access. So Discord has enabled their message class to have two attributes that we're going to use for this. There's more, but for now we're just going to be going over these two. So the first one is the author, and I'm just going to make a variable author just for ease of access, and we're going to be setting that to message.author, and that'll essentially return a string value of who wrote the message. So in my case, in my Discord, my name is, whatever, we'll get to that, but it's Lucas number something something something, right? And it'll essentially be encompassed in this author string. Now the next variable we're going to use is content, and you can obtain that by just typing in message.content. Simple enough. This is the string message that was typed in the Discord client itself. So obviously you couldn't just print the message object, you'd have to print message.content, and that would print out the string if you wanted to use that anywhere else. Now to log to the console, we just need to use the print function. We've been using that for however long we've been learning Python. It's pretty straightforward, but we are going to just use the formatting tool to clean this up a little bit, and we're going to pass in author and content. So what does this function do so far? Well, every time a message is sent, it obtains the author and the content and prints it out to the console in the format author:\message. Simple enough. Alright, let's actually test that out. So we're going to run it, go back to Discord, bots online, alright, test. And as you can see in the client, can I make this even bigger? 20, sure, whatever. You can see Lucas number 6947 test. So that's my name and ID and the message I sent. Simple enough, right? So let's turn this off, minimize this. So that's essentially how you use events. You can just run different segments of code based on certain events that happen in your server. Now we're going to create one more, and we are going to use async def on message delete. Again, we have to pass in a message You can find everything you need to pass in from the API itself or the documentation. And if you can't find it there, you can always go on the discord.py official Discord server and just ask around there. There are lots of friendly people there who are willing to help. So again, we are going to simply log the message, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. So again, we're going to get the author, and we're going to get the content. Now, instead of printing it to the console, we are going to print it, or not print it, but we are going to have the bot say it in the Discord server. Now, this is a bit different from just typing print or whatever, and it does use a bit more of the async functionality. But the function, or what the next line is essentially going to be await client.send message, and in this function we need to pass two things. We need to pass the message channel that we want to send the message to, and the message itself. So we don't actually have the message channel yet, however we can obtain it from the message object. So we can just type message, or sorry, channel, and just obtain it by doing message.channel. And then we just pass it into the function like this, channel and content, and that should output to the server, or sorry, whenever a message is deleted, it should just send us the message that was deleted. We could go even further and format it the same way we had before. So, like we did, just like that, and format it with the author and content. But again, it's really up to whatever you want. So this is sort of the first client function that you've used so far. So far it's just been creating the client and using events, sorry. But this is your first step into sort of creating a Discord bot. You are now able to send messages from the bot into your Discord server. So let's run it. Hopefully there's no errors. Looks good. Bot is ready. So let's go in the server. Now we've tested our message command, but we can test it again just in case it's broken. I highly doubt it. Yep, so as you can see here, it still logs it perfectly fine. And if we delete the message, our bot says the name and the message. Simple enough. So just a quick recap. Events are functions with this decoration here, client.event. They are asynchronous, meaning that they can be run sort of on top of each other, and they won't interrupt each other in terms of running the code. And you've now learned a way to have the bot send a message to the Discord server itself, as well as how to print information to the console. And on top of that, you've also learned how to obtain information from the message object. All of these attributes that you can find on the Discord API page. Again, I will link it in the description. But that's all for this video. In the next video, we will be going over commands, which are a bit different from events. And as I mentioned in the first video, it will make use of this line here. So if you have not yet put that into your Discord bot, you will want to do that before the next video or sometime during the next video, as it will make use of that line. Anyways, that's it. See you later. Bye.